Hello and welcome to the Crypto Jungle. My name is Baloo the Bear, and here on the channel I look at cryptos. That's it. Just take a look. Take a look at the charts, look at the volume, look at the price action, and try to determine where we are in this market cycle. I'm pretty bullish. A lot of the market is freaking out, thinking that we're going to plummet down to lower levels. Lower levels are a possibility, but I'm leaning more bullish. I am leaning more bullish. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at Ethereum. And oh yes, you're here for the $500 investment. You want to know the coins that are going to make you a millionaire with a $500 investment. Well, anybody that tells you that is clearly just a fool or is trying to sell you something. Sorry to burst your bubble. Sorry to clickbait you with that YouTube thumbnail, but it ain't going to happen. And I've got some nice projects that we can look at for you to consider, but yeah, sorry about that. Let's take a look at the king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin. All right, so we just got our daily candle close here on Bitcoin. We're at 58,250 right now. A little bit of a reaction inside of this consolidation right here. I'm not too worried. I mean, it's gone a little deeper than we would have expected. There is a possibility that we come and test this general area at around $50,000. That'll be a nice psychological test of us being able to hold the $50,000 level. The problem is it's kind of a crowded trade. I think a lot of people are expecting more downside at this point, so probability, I would lean that this is probably it. I think that we're going to head up from here. If I was to pick a side, I think that we're gonna head up from here, and this was the bottom. Not a ton of volume, showing us kind of a seller's climax or climactic action at this point. So again, there is definitely a possibility of more downside. If you ask me to choose a side, I'm choosing bullish. We're right down here at the 40 level of the RSI. This is typically a good point for a reversal if you are to maintain the bullish control zone. We have been in the bullish control zone since we had our original super sign of strength rally here that went from 32,000 to 41,000. That was when we regained and reclaimed the level of the bullish control zone inside of the RSI, and we've been bouncing in here ever since. So we're right here at the bottom. If we are able, if we want to keep going in the bullish control zone, we're going to have to bounce off of this level. Taking a look at Ethereum ticking to the upside, looking really good. We got the alphanumerics all in. Looks like it wants to come in for a bearish cross. So actually, we'll pull up the alphanumerics. For those who are in the private group, you have access to this indicator, which just crossed bearish. Now, every indicator, you know, if you're trading just Bitcoin, follow the indicator. If you have a plethora of different altcoins, you kind of need to pick your battles and pick your signals based on the on-chain analytics and the fact that this is a long-term accumulation with bullish structure. Me personally, I'm choosing to disregard the bearish signal on this indicator. We also have the red wave currently printing. This will not confirm until we get that weekly close. So tentatively red. If we do reverse from this point, it'll flip it back to green and we'll be looking good again. But overall, I'm really not bearish. I like this price action. We're up at an all-time high. We're trying to get past this all-time high. Once we get a clear break above to about 68 to 70,000, it'll probably just go to 80 from there, and anything beyond 80 will get the market really excited, especially in the altcoins. If we take a look at total market cap, right down at the bottom of this channel that we've been in since the COVID shakeout, again pointing to us finding a support level. The highest probability outcome at this point is that we find support. We have a lot of demand in this general area at these support levels. It's held us thus far. If we do break this market structure, we have to start considering much more bearish outcomes that you know, we could be entering a long-term bear market. But I don't see that as the case when I look at the on-chain data. We have a lot of accumulation. Doesn't matter if you're a shrimp or a whale, you are accumulating. Just a lot of people, you know, accumulated too much and had this unwinding as the leverage caught up with them. So it is what it is. Okay, so some of these projects that I'm really interested in You've heard me mention a few times about Olympus DAO. Really, you're going to have to do your own research on this one because there are a lot of metrics that go into how this protocol achieves price. There are a lot of variables that go into affecting the price. There is a game theory economics that is working in the background of this one, so please do your own research, but I think it's really kind of pivotal inside of DeFi to have this type of protocol exist, where the protocol owns its own liquidity and is able to be one of the strongest market makers in DeFi. I really think that that is an important idea. The high APY is nice. I think it's kind of just a trap to get liquidity back in. It's kind of tuned for expansion right now, so it's drawing in a lot of liquidity. But it's more so just the concept of protocol and liquidity that I'm really, really bullish on. Let's catch up with the chat here. How's it going? Cabman, Roswell, how's it going? Let's go, Brendan. How's it going? Dingo ate my Satoshis. Yo, yo, yo. I've been DCAing into DOT and Link past couple months now after ETH took off. Hopefully it pays off in the long term. Definitely lost some value from purchasing over the past couple of weeks. How's it going, Dali G Jizzo Brado? Good morning. Good morning if it is morning for you. Like Dot's vision and game plan, I think they will stick around. I think Dot is definitely proceeding with caution. You know, they have their test net. They're being very responsible. I do think that they are thinking long term, and the fact that they're integrating with, they're moving in correlation with Ethereum. They're trying to not work against Ethereum, exist as an Ethereum killer. They're trying to work with Ethereum, and I think that's a smart move for them. So yeah, Polkadot looks good. How do you make a little money trading Bitcoin on Webull? It's a loaded question, man. There's a lot to consider when it comes to trading. You know, trading, to become a full-time trader takes years. It takes years of dedication, and what dedication means in financial markets is making mistakes, and what making mistakes in financial markets means is losing money. So if you're not kind of in that category where you're willing to pay for your tuition by paying for your mistakes and losing money, then trading may not be for you. Webull, if you're going to be in crypto, own your crypto. Webull is just a derivative. You don't actually own any BTC when you're on Webull. I understand that it's kind of easy. Just buy some Bitcoin. Just buy some Bitcoin. Hold it. Trying to trade it on Webull, I can't really speak to that effect. Squid Come Rocket Inu. Oh yes, I forgot about Squid Come Rocket Inu. That is the $500 investment that will make you a millionaire in about 5 days. 5 days, $500, multi-million dollars out with Squid Game Inu. Let me just see what we got here. I gotta get rid of this. Okay. Hi, Sir Baloo. How to buy Bitcoin not being a scam. Very good question. I would recommend either FTX exchange. FTX is a very reputable exchange. I do have links below. If you're on Twitch, just click the FTX link. You can purchase your Bitcoin on FTX. If you already have some of these other accounts, whether it's Coinbase or Binance, those are all appropriate places. You want to go to the bigger spots. Don't go to little spots to purchase your Bitcoin. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the another project that I wanted to bring to your attention is Metis. So Metis is another layer 2. It's It's well, it's technically a sidechain. So it's a sidechain that's working with Ethereum. And the problem that Metis is trying to solve is it's trying to be able to transfer NFTs from one layer to another. So NFTs are really, really hot. You know, it's nice to have NFTs on Ethereum because the Ethereum market is the most liquid. The problem with Ethereum is the gas fees are really, really high. What Metis is trying to do is they're trying to create an infrastructure that can go to Ethereum and to Metis cross-chain and keep the information, most notably the profile, the picture, the JPEG. That's the information. Most of these protocols cannot swap that type of information from one chain to another because you are burning on one side, well, not burning, you're staking on one side and minting on the other, so that information does not carry. But Metis is trying to solve that. Now, they've had a huge run up. This is on the Ethereum pair, so if it doesn't look like the Metis chart you're used to, that is why. It's already done a 10x and it's in a consolidation and it's looking to break bullish right now. There is some supply coming in this general area. We can see that there's a ton of supply in this area as it's trying to break out. If it does manage to break out, this will be looked at as absorption, but we're struggling with this area. So I'm going to be watching this one and monitoring it just to see if we do get a solid breakout. If we begin to kind of continue out of this consolidation, the higher probability outcome is continuation. But as it stands right now, we're kind of just battling with this level right here on the Ethereum pair. Another one that you can go and take a look at is Temple DAO. So Temple DAO is kind of an interesting protocol. It's another DAO. I think a lot of these DAOs are going to gain in popularity. There's already a few that are very popular. Olympus DAO, Wonderland, Time, Climate DAO, although it's not really doing that well anymore. But what Temple is doing is they're trying to create a sanctuary of volatility. And how they create a sanctuary of volatility is they make it very hard to get in. There's a lineup to get in, and there is a lineup to get out. So because you can't buy and sell very easily, it smooths out the volatility because you literally have a virtual queue for you to unstake and be able to sell. So you don't get everybody rushing for the exit at the same time. You don't get everybody dumping all at the same time. So that's how it's, hedges out the volatility. Interesting protocol. Go do your own research. This one hasn't quite launched yet. Their opening ritual that's what they're calling it. Their opening ceremonies has just concluded, so it should be hitting the market in the coming days. Do your own research. Go see if this is something that interests you. It could be a nice hedging tool moving forward. So we'll have to see what happens with this one as it develops a little bit more. Pokedex. Yeah, let's take a look at Pokedex. Actually, it's Pokedex. Invictus and Solana is like Olympus, yes. Pokedex. What up, good people of the crypto world? Pokedex, PDEX, there it is. 663 on CoinGecko, up 12% on the day, 18 bucks. Max supply 20 million. Market cap sitting at 53 million. 24-hour trading volume pretty low at 2 million. So this one's obviously not available in too many different places. It's available on KuCoin, Hotbit, Gate.io, and Uniswap V2. Let's take a look at the price action overall. Oh, this is not bad. This is not bad. I was expecting something that had gone up because I keep hearing about Pokedex. So let's go take a look at a better chart here. PDEX, is it even listed? There it is on Tether, on KuCoin there. So in a consolidation, kind of an inverse head and shoulders type pattern. But you can kind of ignore all that and let's just focus on this general area. So we're trading sideways. We're trading sideways for basically its whole existence, which is not a bad thing. That's a good thing. I like to invest in protocols that don't have a ton of hype, and they don't have a ton of hype when they're trading sideways. So let's just encapsulate the price action right here. Take a look. If it breaks down, it goes down. If it breaks up, it goes up. That's basically it. So watch the price action. Watch for daily candle closes to confirm either above or below. Obviously, the bias right now is up, that we get a breakout. If you are a fundamental trader and a position trader that is really wanting to build a position long-term inside of Pokedex, you can buy the accumulation ranges when they're at the bottom of the range. Where we are right now would be considered a good buying opportunity if you are one of the individuals who is accumulating this long-term. So yeah, Pokedex looking not too bad, actually. I was expecting something worse. Do you think we are blinded by our bull bias despite the indicator showing bear signs? So the indicator, it's an oscillator. They're moving averages. They're going to cross against the fundamentals. So you can trade the indicator to a T. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a strategy. So I'm choosing to ignore it because of where I think we are in the market cycle. So there's many things that go into consideration when you're making trading and investing decisions. One of the things that you consider is whether you listen to an indicator or not. As you can see, this is not a perfect indicator. No indicator is perfect. There is not a single one that calls these things to a T. It just doesn't exist. It's a tool in your toolbox so that you can analyze the market and make your own decisions on where you think we are. Me, I have a broad altcoin exposure. So when one chart pivots and flashes bearish, it's a lot for me to kind of, change all of the positions, remanage, reorganize, especially if it flips back bullish. And now I have to re-enter all of those assets because entries are actually quite hard. If you're focusing on Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're actually at a big advantage as a trader because your ability to pivot is so much easier. So if you're one of those individuals who is just trading Bitcoin, just trading ETH, and you're using the alphanumerics indicator, you're out of the trade. You were out of the trade yesterday, and you're waiting to see if we're going to enter back in. But as you can see, there are chop areas. We got bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. We got a bearish bull right here. So it does flash, bear, bull, bull, bear, or no, bear, bull. And now we got a bear. So, it will flash. And it's up to you to determine whether or not you would like to listen to that. If we do take a look at the 4 hour, we got some nice green diamonds in the green wave. Yes, they're falling under the context of a bearish cross, but I do think that we're not done. And this is based on just the fundamentals and the on-chain analytics and just making comparisons to previous cycles. I don't think we're quite done yet. Too much innovation, too many bullish factors, and too many contributing factors to demand that would make me think that this market cycle is complete. It is a possibility, but it's not one that I'm weighting very heavily. So it's up to you how you want to trade your portfolio. It is not up to me. I'm just some random dude on the internet who identifies as a cartoon bear. What do you think of the idea that BTC copies the distribution of May? Yeah, everybody's bearish. Everybody's bearish. The whole market's bearish. Everybody, the whole market. Wake up, people. You got to be on the other side of the trade. Whole market's bearish. Nothing like a change in price to change the sentiment in the space. I know you're a fan of DAI for stablecoins. Given UST market cap has approximately doubled in a month to about the same as DAI, the market appears interested in the Terra ecosystem. Are you? No, I am not. Where are you picking up the coin? Picking up the coin. I don't know which one you're talking about. LRC and GameStop potential. Loop Ring and GameStop. GameStop has no fucking potential, man. It's dead. It was being short. Hedge funds were shorting GameStop for a reason. It's because brick and mortar's done. What the fuck is what the fuck is GameStop doing? But Loop Ring is actually doing something really important for the ecosystem. And they're trying to solve zero knowledge proof rollups for Ethereum. Nobody's been able to really crack that code just yet. ZK rollups, you may have heard that term, ZK rollups. It stands for zero knowledge rollups. Rollup is just a way for you to batch transactions into one to save on fees. And LRC is trying to do that and create a decentralized exchange that is, you know, in theory, better than other layer 2 solutions like Arbitrum or Optimism. We had a cup and handle, we broke out. We're probably going to come back down to, I'd say, $1. I'd say, well, maybe even a little bit less. If we take a look at this kind of cup and handle formation, we'd be looking at this general area. So, you know, this is a sign of strength move. This is everybody getting hyped. This is just, look at the amount of supply coming in here. Not only that, but look at how overbought we are. Market's freaking out about Loop Ring for some reason. No idea why, but it's clearly overvalued in the short term. So I would be looking for a retracement down to this support with maybe even a wick that comes down to 40 cents. That's too much. That's too much. I'd be looking somewhere around $1. $1 is a nice psychological level. If you see Loop Ring at $1, that's becoming a participant in a trend that is very strong after a breakout. If you're in, congratulations. Let's see what the alphanumetrics indicator is telling us. Yeah, we definitely got our trim signal, so it's telling you to take profits. But yeah, I don't know. It's looking good. What it has to do with GameStop, I just ignore all those narratives. Those narratives, the news, all the bullshit, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Price, you know, just monitor the price, monitor, you know, as the price is mooning, they're going to tell you all the reasons why it's mooning. It's mooning because nobody's selling. That's it. That's the only reason it's going up, is because people are buying and nobody's selling. That's it. You know, everybody overcomplicates this stuff. The DXY is overbought right now. Opinion on Bitcoin miners. You're going to have to be more specific. I don't know what you mean. Is gold or GLD is underpriced right now? No, I think gold is pretty fucking useless, so it's probably priced appropriately. I mean, we need it in computers, and, you know, we gotta wear jewelry and shit, but I don't know. Using the indicator, I would sell after the close of the candle that brings the bear signal, correct? Or what I sell when I see the cross. If you're using the indicator and you have an unavoidable cross, if it has a trajectory that is straight down and you know that it is going to cross, you can just go ahead and sell. You can front run that because it's an unavoidable cross. So get out of the position sooner. Don't wait for the confirmation of a cross when you know the momentum of the moving average makes it unavoidable. So if we actually take a look at Bitcoin here and zoom in, I'll turn off the price so that you can just see the cross. You know, right before we kind of had the cross, it was unavoidable. I'll actually rewind it a few days. Let's rewind. Oops. Okay, let me try that again. Go back a bar? How does that work? Jump to here. Okay, so the cross at this point is pretty unavoidable. You can't avoid this cross. Or the trajectory is really steep that the probability of a cross is very high. So at that point, you can make the decision to cut the trade at that point. And then you're kind of front running, you're getting a better deal on the sell, and then you can wait for the bullish cross to come back in for your entry. So that's kind of how I would handle that if I was trading the alphanumetrics to a T, which is a very good strategy. I'm just too diversified to be able to pivot like that right now, so I'm choosing not to listen to it. DX, the DXY, the dollar index. Let's take a look at the DXY. It's been a while. Not DXY USD, just DXY. Is the DXY overbought right now? Not showing overbought on my chart. No, not on the weekly, not on the 3-day. I would say no, it's not overbought. It's actually nice to see Bitcoin, holding up as well as it is with the DXY doing this kind of move here. So we have kind of lost sight, or at least I have lost sight of paying attention to the DXY. We broke above this level, dollar's gaining strength, but under what context is what we're looking for here. So inflation is very much so the narrative right now. Bitcoin hedges against inflation. That's probably why it's doing so well, because in the past, when we saw these types of moves on the DXY, it was Bitcoin's very, very bearish Bitcoin. So yeah. First time viewer, hello, Cookie Dragon Born. Can I ask you about Sia Coin? Sure. Sia Coin. I don't really think that a lot of the data management protocols, I don't think it's their time yet. This is a nice consolidation though. I'm liking this. Nice consolidation. We're coiling up here. Looks like I have something from back in the day. This is a crucial level to hold. For Sia Coin, it looks like there is a possibility of a breakout. So I'd be watching this level right here. If you get a break above, likely continuation is the more probable outcome. We're coming up against the 60 line on the RSI. That's typically a good level for a breakout. If you're on the daily, we're on the 3-day, even better. We're on the 3-day up against the 60 in correlation with a breakout. That'll be a pretty strong move, I would imagine. So see it actually looking not too bad. Don't really know what the fundamental drivers of demand are for this. I'm curious as to whether you're actually using the protocol or not. Most people, when they buy shit, they're not actually using it, which is not a problem. I get it. I've done plenty of that myself, but it is important to get hands-on with the dApps and see, like, is this thing actually working? Is it working? Can I do what it's saying that it can do? And if the answer is no, then you're investing in something that doesn't work. So bear that in mind as well. KDA, another fucking hyped bullshit coin out there. Yeah, we've reached a pinnacle. I've been looking at this one for a while. People have been requesting it. It went straight fucking up. Higher probability right now, since we're stalling so much, is we probably come back down to some sort of support level. This is on the 3-day. I'd be looking for a support range down here between about $7 to $6 would be where I would be looking to become a participant. You would have to see if that level holds here on the daily. Yeah, I'd be looking at around $6 or $7. $6 or $7 for Cadena. It's overhyped. Too many people talking about it. It's too late. It's already done a freaking, this rally all said and done is 5,000%. It's people are going to take profits, and we're stalling, so people are taking profits. Okay. Sorry, just Hoop 1975, just to circle back there. I was being a little facetious before. I don't use UST because it doesn't find itself into my life. It doesn't appear on any of the applications that I use. Obviously, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of people that are using UST and Luna. It's just not appearing in DeFi where I look at dApps. So because of that, until I start seeing UST, I don't really care. It doesn't mean I don't think it's worth looking at. It doesn't mean that I think it's not worth paying attention to, because the market cap and the hype and the expansion, it's obviously doing something. But I focus on certain areas, and I'm really focused on Ethereum and decentralized finance on Ethereum, because in my opinion, it's kind of the gold standard as far as where we're going with decentralized finance. All of the innovation is coming out of Ethereum. I understand that the gas is a problem. I get it. I understand, okay? But the development, the thesis, the long-term vision of the developers that are building on Ethereum, they are thinking very long-term. They're thinking in terms of when ETH doesn't have these problems. And Terra is just not in that. It's not there. It's not, you know, it's not on app like Aave. It's not available on Compound. It's not available on any of the decentralized applications that are in that ecosystem, nor am I 100% sure if it's even compatible, if it's Ethereum virtual machine compatible. And if it's not, then it's going to exist on its own, doing its own thing. And I'm not over there. I'm not in other chains that are doing its own thing. Same with Kadena. You know, I'm not there. I'm not in Kadena. The only other ecosystem that I have exposure in that doesn't have Ethereum compatibility is Solana. That's it. Speaking of Solana, we got our buy signal. We finally got it in the buy zone. Everybody in VIP, I told you I added to the position right at around $200 here. We got a nice little dump into the buy zone, took a position there, and we're doing well. We're doing well. It's looking really good on Solana. I think I'm pretty bullish on Solana, even though it is existing outside of the realm of the Ethereum virtual machine. But it is a very user-friendly experience. And there's something to be said to the usability of these apps. Solana is really easy to use. It's really, really easy to use, and I like that about Solana. So check mark for Solana there, but it just doesn't have the same sort of structure or long-term vision. I think it's going to have its place in probably trading and gaming, but the banking replacement, I don't see Solana being the banking replacement. Cookie Dragonborn, I'm pretty sure I answered your question, so. Not sure why you're accusing me of ignoring you. I looked at Sia Coin. Nobody cares about Sia Coin. Do you think DOT tokenomics gear it to higher prices, or is it capped at a certain point? Price is decided by what people are willing to pay. Period. End of story. End of discussion. If somebody's willing to pay $1 million for Polkadot and everybody else agrees that that's a fair value, that's the price. Price is decided by the order book. Market cap doesn't make sense to me in cryptocurrency. This is my own kind of opinion. When we look at market capitalization, it's a good way to value a company because a company has earnings. And when a company has earnings and they have a profit and they have margin and revenue, you can extrapolate that data to come up with some sort of value of the company. When we're talking about blockchains and we're talking about this kind of decentralized infrastructure, there's no earnings. We're measuring the network effect. So the fact that we measure everything in market cap is kind of silly to me. If somebody's willing to pay something, that's the price. That's what it is with everything, but you know, it's more so with cryptocurrency. So the tokenomics are not going to be a limiting factor on price appreciation with Polkadot, nor would it be on any other protocol. Jerry Beans, I want to know what you're talking about with the Bitcoin miners. What do you mean? What part? It's a broad topic, man. What do I think about their ethics? What do I think about you doing it yourself? I need more information. Immutable X, IMX. Your thoughts? I think layer 2 DeFi or NFT infrastructure is an important thing. Who's going to buy the governance token, though? You need to think about who's going to be buying the IMX tokens. Immutable X. Looks like we just got a a listing on my favorite exchange, FTX. Links below if you do not have an FTX exchange. What are you doing? You are not even crypto at all. This is, it's the best exchange. Best user experience I've seen in crypto. Immutable X, it's a governance token, you know? What do you want it for? Are you voting? Are you voting with your Immutable X tokens? I think the protocol is way more interesting than the governance token. What we're going to start to see on the topic of governance tokens, what we're going to start to see is we're going to start seeing protocols acquiring governance tokens. Olympus DAO is launching Lobis, which is their governance arm of the treasury, which is going to start accumulating certain protocol governance tokens like Curve. Now, you have to get the core tokens accumulated before anything else. So the protocol is going to start buying Curve. How long is it going to take before the protocol starts buying Immutable X? I think it's early days. If you can farm Immutable X somehow, I would probably entertain that idea first. But there's not much to go off with the chart here. So rude as well, and look at the timestamps. When I wrote, you ignored me. Okay, well, I'm not here to just service you, buddy. Appreciate your answer on See a Coin, but the comment after that killed all appreciation for your help. Thank you, sir. Have a good night. Okay. It is what it is. Anytime I talk bad on anybody's product, look, guys, there's fucking 7,000 coins. You think they're valuable? All of them? A lot of them are going to trade to zero, and I don't know where See a Coin falls under that category. Have you used it? Have you used it for cloud storage? If the answer is no, and you're asking me what my opinion is, like, we're both clueless. Can you compound your loan on Alchemex like 3 or 4 times? I believe so. Yeah, why not? But that's kind of what Abracadabra does. So I would, if you're wanting to compound, although you can't, yeah, that's a good one, because Alchemex doesn't liquidate and Abracadabra does. Very interesting thought, my friend. Very interesting thought. We'll have to look into that. Maybe we should try it. See how that works. Kadena looks decent, not gonna lie. Love its use case and really resembles Solana back in January. All right, Blake Smith, have you used it? Show me. You're in the Discord. Send me some links. What wallet are you using? What dApps are making you think that it's similar to Solana? I'm coming off way more threatening than I'm meaning to. So my apologies. I'm genuinely curious. Can you please show me the wallet? Can you show me the dApps? Can you show me why you're saying that? Because I genuinely want to know why KDA did this. There's probably some sort of a reason that it did this. So please, point me in the right direction. Because when I looked at it, I couldn't find much. So yeah. Affinity, don't know what that is. Enjoy your live streams. Thank you. What do you think about Olympus DAO? Scam or real? Olympus DAO is real. Olympus DAO is real. If you go back a few streams, more than a few streams now, I definitely was on stream saying, yeah, it's a scam. And I have to now openly say, no, it is not a scam. What Olympus DAO is doing is really, really unique, and it's going to add a ton of stability to DeFi. How that correlates with your investments in the Ohm token, we have no idea. Nobody has those answers. But what Olympus is trying to do is they're trying to do a very innovative approach to DeFi, decentralized finance, by owning the liquidity. Liquidity inside of these networks needs to be thought of as bandwidth. If there's not enough liquidity on Uniswap, you can't trade. If there's not enough liquidity on Aave, you can't get a loan. If there's not enough liquidity, insert DApp here, you can't use the DApp. So the liquidity is bandwidth. And when people get scared, they can pull their liquidity and they can leave. If there's a stablecoin FUD and everybody's worried about stablecoins, all the liquidity providers could remove their liquidity from, let's say, SushiSwap or Uniswap, and now people can't trade because there's nobody on the other side. With Olympus DAO, they want to own the treasury, they want to own the assets and build it over time where the money goes in and it doesn't come out, ever. So it's a really interesting approach to controlling and centralizing a little bit the liquidity into a secure market making strategy. And I'm really, really bullish. It's one of the most bullish projects that I think is really going, I'm so bullish on Olympus. It's real. It's real. The token, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to do, because you need to keep in mind that the APY is also the inflation rate. So it's going through hyperinflation. So it's whittling away the value that's in the protocol, but it's also rebasing. It's a big experiment, but the protocol owned liquidity aspect of Olympus DAO has me really bullish. All right. We keep yelling affinity. Affinity. Okay, we don't know much about it. The Affinity crowd loan is live. Next generation blockchain for NFTs. I don't know. Engine. Okay, powered by Engine, future of NFTs. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna read white papers on a stream. That's fucking boring. What do we got? Where is it traded? Crypto.com, OKX, EFI. All right, let's take a look at the chart. Okay, looks like we're wanting to overtake this level. We got a little bit of an upthrust coming back down. Let's see what the volume's doing. It's looking fine. Yeah, I mean, we're not breaking out, so we're still in accumulation. So basically, when you see a chart like this, you need to have a plan for both sides. So understand that, yes, we're up here, and that's great. That's a nice advancement. But we also have the possibility of coming back down and testing the bottom of the range because we haven't created a bullish trend. We haven't created an uptrend. We're still technically sideways. So you need to be careful and prepared that if we can't break out, the next move is down to the bottom of the range. So in these types of scenarios, if we start breaking out, you're going to want to take a breakout trade. That's appropriate. Just understand that there's also a possibility that we fail and come back down all the way to the bottom of the range. This is very typical in these long-term accumulations. So it just means that you'll have, if you're long-term bullish on this, you'll have the opportunity to buy back in at the lower end of the range. But just realize that it's a possibility to head back down to the lower end of the range. You can always cut your set a stop loss and make sure that that doesn't happen so that you can lose your position and then buy back in at the bottom if it does occur. We could be looking at this general area as well for a retracement, which would be that psychological dollar level, but we haven't broken out yet, so you need to be apprehensive that we don't. However, if we start breaking out, it could get bullish because we're in a bullish market environment for altcoins. Okay, what do you think would be the best risk to reward coin this next leg up for us buying the dip? It's a tough question. I mean, I really like Curve right now. Risk to reward is kind of what's throwing me off. I mean, you know, the best risk to reward ratio, like, what are you wanting? High risk, or are you wanting low risk? Like, what do you want? Everything's risky. If you want the lowest kind of risk to reward, it's Bitcoin. If you want the lowest risk with the highest reward, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin still gives a good yield. As far as one that I'm kind of keeping an eye on, I think Curve is an interesting one, especially because some of these protocols like Olympus are going to be acquiring the Curve token amongst other governance tokens. So, you know, keep an eye on Curve, but Ethereum is a really good risk to reward. Like, I guess I don't really understand the nuance of what you mean with risk to reward. There's plenty of really good projects out there. Just don't buy shit. Don't buy complete garbage and you'll be fine. We're in a bull market. Everything goes up. It's shooting fish in a barrel. Doesn't matter if you're buying something completely useless like Shiba Inu or Doge, or if you're buying something really revolutionary and interesting like Ohm. When the market conditions are correct for price appreciation, the price goes up. Or any of the other forks. So Olympus, the DAO, get in the Discord and just look at how organized this DAO is. These guys are pro. They are pro. They are strategizing on how to make DeFi a very strong and stable competitor to traditional finance. Time, I don't think Wonderland has that same sort of vision. I don't think that any of the forks really have the same sort of vision or ability to do what Ohm is doing. Keep in mind, the developers at Ohm invented Ohm. They're smart. They're very, very smart that they were able to create that protocol. And everybody else is just copying the code. Copy code, paste. Let's be Ohm. Often in the space, the first mover, they're a first mover for a reason. They're the core developers that created the protocol to begin with. They have the best understanding of that protocol. Yeah, the APY is really, really high on Time, Wonderland right now, but an important thing to keep in mind is a lot of people are doing what's called 9-9ing. So for those who don't really know, you've probably seen the meme in Twitter or around of 3,3. 3,3 is when you buy Ohm and you stake Ohm, or you buy Time and you stake Time. What people are doing with Wonderland is they're going to abracadabra.money and they're looping their rewards. So they're staking wrapped time and then they're borrowing against their time and then looping that borrow so that you get this compounding effect of your original position that's 9-9, okay? What happened last time there was an unwinding of that kind of behavior was right here, this wick. There was about a 60% retracement. Just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in a healthy market condition, I might add, everything was going up except Olympus had a 60% dump. Freaked out a bunch of people, didn't know what was going on, and what was happening is there was enough profit taking from whales to get everybody's 9-9 position down to a liquidation, and their positions were liquidated. Their staked tokens were liquidated, they were sold off, all of the assets were sold off so that Abracadabra, the protocol, could honor the leverage that was being applied. So I think the exact same thing will happen to Wonderland. So if you're a long-term believer in Wonderland, understand that. If you're a long-term holder, understand that there could be a potential for volatility coming up, and have something ready for you to become a buyer, because this was a fantastic time to scoop up some Ohm, of which I did, because a 60% retracement all of a sudden is clearly irrational. You got to buy that irrational dip. Never heard of SIA? It's from the previous cycle. It's a useless shitcoin. I'm more interested in what you think ETH will go down to when we go bear market. I was DCAing from 1K to 1700 and laid off since you think we'll get back there or lower. So it'll be really interesting to see what kind of price cycle Ethereum goes through. Because, you know, if you've watched Raoul Pal make the comparison of Ethereum to Bitcoin back in 2017, it's following the price map quite closely. So if we get a market cycle peak where Ethereum peaks at 20K, you know, in theory, it'll follow the capitulation down to 3K. So you'd be able to buy ETH at 3,300 bucks. We'll have to see, you know, these extensions and these reactions, they're all based on percentages. So you can't determine how deep something will be until you get to the top. You can't determine how high something will go until you get to a bottom. You need to watch how the price behaves. Ethereum is a great project. If you're DCAing in at $1,000, I think you're in a really good place. You know, you'll watch that appreciate quite a bit, and then it can depreciate in the bear market. But I don't think that it'll go below your entry, personally. Look, bro, EFI security, and you're paying for decentralization. I don't know. Go take a risk, man. Hey, Ben. What lower risk yield or interest platforms or strategies do you recommend for passive income when this cycle is done? Really good question. I would probably stick to the bigger players. The biggest player in the space for receiving a yield on your stable coins would be Curve. You can multiply that using Curve. You can multiply your yield on Curve by implementing or giving over some of your LP positions to Convex, but you're adding some protocol risk at that point. Another one that's really good is Alchemix, currently paying about 20% on DAI. Those rates will be variable. We will see those rates come down considerably when a lot of people do take profits and go into stables to receive a yield. When we're in a bear market, the yields are going to be really, really low because there's not going to be a lot of people borrowing money, and there's going to be a ton of people in stables staking. So there's going to be a lot of pressure that's going to affect the APY of those returns. Right now, the APYs are really, really high because we're in a bull market. Stables are in demand. Yeah, you know, stick to the big players. Aave, Compound. Alchemix is one that I think is really cool if you want to, you know, take some profits in crypto, but then also pull something out into the real world. Yeah, stick to the big players. EFI pre-crowdloading accumulation, probably to dump on the crowdloan people. Yeah, it's a likely outcome. We'll have to see what happens. We are, you know, we could be in a very bullish market at that point where it won't, but yeah. I doubt the chart is quite good on the weekly, and overall they already have games that would require the solution. Okay. Why sushi over pancake swap staking? Pancake swap is it's part of Binance shit chain. Pancake, is there an X pancake? Like, I don't pay attention to Binance Smart Chain at all. It's just scammers paradise over there. Nothing there is legitimate. No developer who's building on Binance Smart Chain is thinking long term. Every single developer that's building on Binance Smart Chain is thinking, how do I fucking steal money from people? That's it. That's all it is. That's all it's good for. So, you know, Sushi has a greater vision of decentralization. Sushi has a really good platform that is chain agnostic. You can use Binance shit chain through SushiSwap. I just think that Sushi is a much better decentralized autonomous organization that has a greater vision, and Pancake Swap is just bullshit. Do you use fibs or your take profit strategy? If so, which ones? Fibonacci's, you can take profits at any single Fibonacci you wish to. These are just lines for you to take. It's just a way for you to create an actionable event. That's it. So let's say, you know, we're in this consolidation. This was the swing low. You can grab a Fibonacci extension to the swing high. You can bring that down to the pivot low, and any one of those are valid areas for you to take profit. If you're really bullish, you'll tend to go with these higher levels. So like the 100% extension, you might go for, you know, the 1.272 is very typical, or you could do the 1.618. And when price reaches those levels, you do something, whether it's take 10% off the table, close half of the position, close the position entirely. It's up to you to strategize. These numbers, they don't predict where it goes down. They just don't. They're a way for you to specifically come up with a trading strategy that's going to allow you to take profits, compound your portfolio, and you know, make money while the money is available, while the market is giving. They're just magic numbers, man. Just magic numbers for you to pick a side. But yeah, the 100% extension, the 1.272, and the 1.618. I actually have a dedicated video on setting up the Fibonacci retracement. If you're not already in the free side of the Discord, go ahead and join the Discord server. We can hook you up with that free material so that you can know how to set up your Fibonacci extension. What's up with Algorand lately? Algorand is just leaving a long-term accumulation. Let's take a look at Algo. What time is it? Oh, I gotta get out of here. Gotta go to the virtual classroom. We'll do USD. I know we got some longer charts out there. What's going on? Where's the long chart? What am I on? Oh, I'm on the weekly. That's why. Algorand has had a long-term accumulation, long-term cup and handle, and we're right at the backup. This was a sign of strength, very illiquid move. It just kind of, you know, a whale market bought and just blew through the order book. Order books are really thin. That's across the board in crypto, period. So, you know, you can get these price moves that are pretty irrational. So right now we're in this consolidation. We look as though we want to break bullish on it. I don't need this line. Let's get rid of that. It's wanting to break above. So if we can get a clean break that sticks above, let's say $2, 220, it'll probably be the beginning of a long-term rally, a longer and sustained rally, but we just haven't had that just yet. So we're waiting to get the breakout of this consolidation, but the macro is looking really good. This is a nice chart. Nice chart. Okay, so that is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If there are any shitcoins that you would like me to take a look at, leave them in the comments section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.